This video is going to be about the Etruscans and what I think their origins is, where they come from originally. And okay, let's start with the video. Okay, first of all, the Etruscan come to it was in Italy around 800 to 200 BC. The first was the Villanovan culture, and so my speculation here is that when there was a battle in Troy, when Troy fell, and the Volusian people are the Etruscans. This is what I think, because when they leave their home, lots of paintings shows the battles in Troy, in the Etruscan graves. That can mean many different things, of course. It can also mean that Etruscans are one of the sea people that destroyed the Trojan or the Macedonian culture, because okay, sorry. Sorry. Okay, like this. The Volusia and the Hittites was allied together, was joined together in the wars and other things, in trade or diplomacy and this kind of thing. So one thing can be that Etruscans are, well, I think they are the Trojans. The Etruscans are the Trojan. The only thing that make it contradictory to my own belief in this is the painting. For in the pictures they show Achilles executing Trojan prisoners and this kind of thing, and the war in Trojan War around 1400 BC, 1400 of 1600 BC with the Macedonians and this kind of thing, because the Hittites fight against the Greeks. The Macedonians and the Trojan is today in Turkey, and the Hittites also in today's Turkey. And the thing, there's lots of things that are similar with the Hittite art in the Hittites, and comparable to art with the Etruscans are very similar. So there's lots of connection with the Etruscans and the Hittites and the Volusians, the Trojans. So it's it's very possibility that a part of the Hittite, a part of Volusian people, the new Hittite kingdom, after the Hittite fall, they find a new home, and that home are in Italy, in Tuscany, and later on with their culture they take with them from the Hittite, from Turkey to Italy, and they make their own new culture as the Etruscans. Are very likely that is the case. I don't say that is 100% is the case, but that it's likely that is the case, that the Etruscans are the same people to the Volusians or the Hittites. And the other thing with the Etruscan is that their culture was very different from the Roman culture, the later on, like the Samites culture, because their women do have much more power. They use horses, they ride on horses, lots of sculpture, like bronze vessels that when they sit on horses, and have bows, compassed bow, and they use sarcophagi for the elite, and they use lots of paintings on the grave painting. They show afterlife. They show the feast with wine and dance and music and this kind of thing. Of course, they also show brutal things like mass executions of prisoners, and they show gladiator type of games with a man with fight against a dog, or two men fighting over a fire, or they use boxing in these paintings. Lots of different paintings show everything you can think about, from love making to war to drinking, all these kind of things they show in the Etruscan tombs. And they're also very famous for a special black what is it? So when they have black clay, it's like a black vessel, pokoro, I think they call pokoro. It's a black thing, like a hard thing, like, and you can see lots of decoration on the vessel. It's a black vessel. I don't know the name in English right now, but it's very famous. If you look at you search on Etruscan art and you write black vessels, like black vessels, you will find this kind of thing. I think they call pokoro. I probably say wrong here. And of course they was very famous for the wine, because they export wine to Gaul, to the Celts, so it's today France. They have the ship is very interesting because the sail was forward, and very interesting how the Etruscan sail, and and this can be also interesting armor they have, and this can be. But the interesting thing that lots of things they adopt from the Greeks. One thing is the temple, but the difference is with the Etruscan temple comparable to the Greek temple is all the guards they have on the roof. The Etruscan have the guards on the roof, and the pillars of the temple is front of the door. Compared to the Greek temple is round. I can't explain so good, but if you look at Etruscan temple, you can see the shape is the building is differently, how the pillar is positioned. Sorry, I'm really sorry for my bad English. I'm really sorry. I hope I can. Okay, I'm really sorry for that. The English is really bad in this video. Really bad. I really want to do better. Okay, if you look at the Etruscan temple and you see the Greek temple, is very different how they position with the pillars. It's round the temple. In Etruscan temple is forward from the door, and the other thing that makes it so differently, is the guards on the roof. The sculpture of the guards on the roof is on the roof on the Etruscan temple, and no Etruscan temple is existing today. Because the Etruscan temples was made of wood, and lots of fires at that time was very common. So because wood and fire do not go so well together, and lots of the temple was burned down from different things, from raid or different things that was burned down. So the reason why it's much more Greek temple is because the Greeks built with stone, limestone. There's a reason why we can see much more of this on Greek temples. So there is one thing, and lots of guards. The most important thing that differences with the Etruscan beliefs comparable to the Greeks' belief in mythology is one thing. Is the Etruscan believe in a prophecy person. They believe in a boy. There was a boy come out from the ground, and the boy looked like a young boy, but they have the wisdom of an old man in their belief. So they put it's something. I don't know what the background story of is. I have to read about the Hittite mythology, because Hittite mythology is the most important god for the Hittites. Was the thunder god. Lots of Indo-European culture. They use a finder guard, but because the Etruscans are not Indo-European people, they speak not Indo-European language. They speak some other kind of language, so it's totally different. comparable to the Greeks or Roman. It's very different how they speak. Nobody knows really how the Etruscan language sound. But we don't know either how the ancient Illusion language sound. So that is the thing. If we can find a connection with the Illusions and the Etruscans, so that is the thing that can be a possibility because of the migration after the war, after the sea peoples come there. So sea people were many different factions of sea people, and different people were mixed together in the faction of sea people, and some of them are probably the connection with the Etruscan in some ways. I don't know how exactly, but some way is possibility that there are connection, and this kind of thing. So that is the different thing, is that the Etruscan believe in a boy who comes from the ground, and the other thing that is also very, very common to see in Etruscan art is, okay, I try to say this now in the way that I not get censored in YouTube. They are very famous for showing love making in their art, Etruscan art. It's very common to see. But the most commonly in the painting is picture from the Trojan Homeric War of the Trojan. It's very common also to see in elite tombs, in the grave tomb for the elite, or the Etruscan elites. Everything from Achilles, fight against Hector, Ajax do his bad thing against from some royal females in the Trojan palace. Very, very horrible things. I'm not going to speak about this kind of thing. For YouTube do not like to hear this kind of thing, and I don't want to get any strike. I have very little YouTube channel, really little YouTube channel. I don't want any strike. So if you look at paintings on the tomb, of the Etruscan tombs, you see this kind of thing. You can see the battles from the Trojan fight with the Greek. You can see the Trojan prisoners. It's a whole stories without any text. That is the interesting thing. Like, you can, if you really are interested in the Trojan War, go to Italy and look at the tombs and the paintings in the tombs. And when they're really painting, like that you see is a possibility with the feasting, drinking, the fighting, the love making, all this kind of thing in the painting of the Etruscan tombs can be possibility that these paintings are showing under the Trojan War. That is the thing. I think that is a big possibility, that you see, that you can see the Helen and what is his name again? The royal family of the Trojan, or the royal family of the Macedonian, probably the royal family of the Trojan, and you can see the whole story. That is interesting. You have to think that no other culture are so interested to show picture from the Trojan War as the Etruscan was. Etruscan are extremely interested to show picture. Like, you have to think about that. Why do Etruscan want to show so many picture from the Trojan War? It is very interesting. That is what I think is so interesting with the whole thing. With the pictures and this kind of thing, is so much painting from the Trojan War. They never show anything about the original culture. So there is a big reason why I think the Etruscan have some connection with the Trojan, some connection maybe as enemies, or as enemies or allies, or they are the Trojan. But the thing that makes this hard for me to believe they are Trojan, but at the same time I believe they are Trojan, is the painting when they show their own people get executed. They can be that they have shown picture to remind people, the young or people that was born after the war, to never forget this insult. They always have to fight against the Greeks. That can be a thing that you have to remember the enemy. You have to remember the enemy. Remember how they treat us a long time ago when we was pushed from our homeland in Turkey, the ancient Turkey, that is Troy. That can be a thing. Like example, when the North Koreans, they show propaganda pictures of the American soldier and South Koreans, how they kill innocent people, civilians. And so that can maybe be the same thing for Etruscan, that they have a picture of the enemies executing their own people to remind people to never forget things, like, oh, never forget, never forgive. Always fight the Greek to the bitter end, or your enemies to the bitter end. That kind of a thing. So that is a possibility that the Etruscans and the Trojans are the same people. I do not know, I have no idea, I have no proof, I have nothing to say. I just think that it's a big possibility. I just think about this kind of thing. So look at the picture and the painting of the Etruscan tombs. The tomb, one of them is the tomb of the bull. It's a picture with Achilles and other person, and it's a bull with a human head. And it's other picture I don't want to speak about, but you can see in the picture they show the tomb of the bull, and the different tombs have different names with the paintings. And lots of paintings is badly damaged because of the time and this kind of thing. But you can see one man is behind a water fountain with water with wine, and the other one is try to attack him and do things to him and this kind of thing. And you can see another one is also famous thing is the mirrors. That is also a very special thing for Central Asia. Is they use iron plate and they brush the iron plate to make it very shiny, so you can see the shape of your reflection. Because at that time they did not have any glass that we have today, like glass to windows or glass to. We don't have. They have to make iron to make it reflect the picture, reflect so you can see yourself. When you comb your hair, they have cams, or brush your hair, or shave yourself. We can also see that. So that is, they have lots of interesting things, from making like oil to make their body more smoother. They have razor to make their shaving, and lots of the armors are similar to the Greeks. Not all the things, like some helmets are very different, and they use axe, spears, some sword, but not. It's different sword than the Roman used later on, and it's lots of very interesting things about the Etruscans. And the thing I think the most interesting is the paintings of them, because it's so much painting from the Trojan War. It's so much painting from that. It's really much. I don't know any culture that have so much painting from the Trojan War as the Etruscan have on the tombs. They're really interesting. So I think there's some connection with that. I don't know what connection is. So I said before, are they the Trojan? Are they not the Trojan? Are they the allies of the Trojan? Or do they have no connection with them? Do they just they don't just heard about it? But they have so much of it. That is the interesting thing. So and I probably that is everything I really I need to say about the Etruscan is I think if it's of course with lots more to talk about, but there's everything I want to talk about, and then of course they was defeated of the Romans because they lost war. They fight against the Greeks and they fight against they was allied with the Etruscans. Allied with the Carthaginians. Sorry for that. With the Carthaginians, and yeah. That is everything I really want to say, and I hope you like this video. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up, and hope you have a nice day, and yeah.